Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Vibe and Bones on Proxima Station, the latter edition. In the top right side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Vibe. I know it says Lolbiv, but it's Vibe from Roop Gaming. And in the bottom left side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player from Eslot Esports Club. It is Bones. Two great organizations here, two very good players coming up against each other on the GM ladder. Vibe, I think, is more of a professional player, but this is definitely GM ladder stuff that was sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Again, if you have access to GM or Masters level replays, send them to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. I'll likely cast them. Can't guarantee anything if I have a lot of other stuff going on, but it's always nice to have those available when I feel like casting something other than pro stuff, other than lobby stuff, just kind of that nice high-level StarCraft 2 where creativity is usually on display. Hatch first out of Vibe. I'm going to say Lolbiv. I'm going to say it from time to time here, but it is definitely Vibe. That guy, he's just such a prankster. Are we actually? That's an Overlord. Overlord drone coming down. Either it's a drone scout or we're going 3 hatch here. Holy Schenectadies, he's going 3 hatch before pool against Protoss. All right. I mean, considering the fact it is a Nexus first out of Bones, it's totally fair. It's just if you don't know that's what's coming from the Protoss player, it can be a little bit dangerous. So at this point in time, Vibe did go 3 hatch before pool. If your opponent goes Nexus first, it's totally okay. Gateway coming up soon after for Bones, but that gateway is late. 2 assimilators coming in immediately after that as well. Spawning pool follow-up from Vibe at 1 minute and 45 seconds. Extractor should come pretty soon unless he wants to defend entirely with Queens and slow lings early, which we've seen Vibe do in the past. There was a game I cast with a Vibe against a Terran player where he did basically use slow lings and Queens early for his base defense, and it worked out pretty well. So it's experimenting here. Again, Vibe experimenting with Zerg at the GM level, Railgun doing the same thing. That's why I like the GM. We see weird stuff. We see stuff attempted, trying to break the meta, trying to do things that are different here. A little bit says, I like your build. Yes, Overlord comes in, sees the early Nexus. It's a greed game. Probe scouts the same thing out of Vibe. So both players know crazy early macro stuff here from both of these players, and we'll see who can make the most of it, who can take the most advantage. Is that a Zealot? Holy crap, Bones is making a Zealot. Okay, I mean, it probably could have waited for an Adept. Would not made much of a difference there. Stargate coming in here for Bones as well. And this probe knows you can pretty much run away from anything that comes at you as long as you're off creep. Lings on creep can catch the probe, but off creep, sort of, kind of, but not really. Not really. Stalker following up the Zealot over here in Protoss land. And what do we have? We're going to have an Oracle. This is question of the day. Let's take a look real quick and see if we get an Oracle out of the Stargate. We have a little bit of time before that happens, though, a little tiny bit of time, which gives me time to get my list ready. Yeah, Vibe's not doing anything. He's just droning up right now. He's got 2 extractors at his natural base, I guess, in an attempt to hide that from the Protoss player. If he thinks it's still gasless, because there's nothing at the main and nothing at the third, the natural base has plenty of gas coming out of it. Sloverlord scouting stuff out. You can do this if your opponent goes Nexus first. And it is going to be an Oracle. So this Oracle's name is going to be the Voodoo Lady. The Voodoo Lady resides in the galactic outpost of Melee Island Prime, which is located in the Caribbean sector. After being a self-proclaimed fashion consultant and teller of pirate fortunes, she got bored and decided to fly around in her spaceship and search for jolly good earplugs and a huge monkey head to see if her predictions were accurate. On this way, she came across many Zerg, some Protoss, and other humans. All right, so I already forgot her name. Let's go back to the top of this giant story. It is the Voodoo Lady. All right, so Voodoo Lady trying to kill some Zerg, and we'll see how she can do here. What do we have defending from Vibe? Nothing really. There's a single queen. That's not enough, man. You're going to lose some drones, yo. Drones run. They know they're dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Come on. You can get 6 and 7. I believe. No! Can't get 6 and 7. Just got 6. Got 6, which is fine. Little better micro. I feel like we could have got a couple more out of it, but pretty good job pulling the drones there from Vibe. Again, if you don't know what your opponent is doing, get up Spore Crawlers. Was it worth it? Was it worth not having 1 Spore Crawler in exchange for 6 drones? Probably not. But it is still 52 to 49 Harvesters. Vibe has a nice lead. on the opponent here, getting +1 missile attack, not getting melee anything, and a hydralisk then on the way from Vibe. Okay. All right, we're going to see some hydras. We'll see how 90 hit point hydras do against Protoss. We've seen players attempt to do it against Terran at least a couple times already on the channel, but haven't really seen them used against Protoss. A Void Race here for Bones, killing 2 Overlords very close to Vibe's main base. Wow, and does supply block the Zerg player. Go in there, Void Race. See what else you can do. You could probably kill that Queen. I don't know. Could you kill that Queen? Do we believe? Do we believe? The problem is there's already a Spore Crawler because the Oracle kind of blew the Stargate secret that Bones had. If this Void Race shows up and there's not a Spore Crawler, things go a little bit better. But again, got 6 drone kills out of it, so I think we're okay. Free Queen, free Queen. Queen here is trying to spread creep. No. You can win that battle. Another Queen coming to join, though, so maybe Void Ray recognized there was another Queen in the vicinity. Muscular Augments coming in for Vibe, getting that +1 range and +1 speed. Is it +2 range and +1 speed? Well, 25% increase to speed. So I guess there really isn't such thing as a +1 to speed, but the range is definitely +1. So Void Ray flying around, just trying to keep map control, trying to keep air control against his opponent. But again, we're going to see 6 hydras in production right now for Vibe, +1 ground carapace as well. Adepts on the way for Bones, which is really smart. Adepts doing extra damage versus light, more than 2 times damage against light units. And guess what? Hydralisks are considered light units. In a straight up fight, like just pound for pound, I think Adepts beat Hydralisks pretty handily, even with a 90 hit point upgrade. But +1 is done for the Hydras, whereas the Adepts do not have +1 or Resonating Glaives yet, but it's very close to finishing right now. 4th base on the way from Vibe, 5th base on the way from Vibe, taking his gold base and taking this base down along the right side, expanding like a crazy person. Is Vibe pretty much holding on at 7 minutes into the game with a handful of Hydralisks, 16 Hydras versus 11 Adepts. Again, the upgrades might be enough for Vibe here. Let's see how we do. If the Adepts want to stand in, they want to wait for their friends to join the party. Look at these Adepts go, though. Adepts, again, doing pretty well, but I'm noticing a lot of these Hydras are taking several hits to kill. Like, it's bringing them down to just negative, like, not negative hit points, but very low hit points, which tells me they can survive several shots from an Adept without dying. So 22 hits per shot. Giant warping of Adepts here inside the main base. This is exactly what you want to do if you're Bones. It's going extremely well. Trying to kill this Queen. Here are the Adepts in the natural base trying to kill drones. At the same time, Void Ray sniping down the Evolution Chamber while the Hydras are otherwise engaged. And again, just mass Hydra, kind of what you want to do here. Let's do some quick math as soon as these Adepts are cleaned out. 2 Adepts surviving into the 3rd base, killing more drones. 19, 20 drones have been killed so far. There are still Adepts doing stuff. You guys, what is happening? Killing Hydras, smaller groups of Hydras dying. Big old another round warping of Adepts here. Is it going to be enough, though? I think they're severely outnumbered. The Warp Prism gets taken down, and yeah, that's way more Hydras. That's 15 Hydras against like 6 Adepts, but still 2 Adepts surviving into the natural base. Oh, Vibe. Drone death count is 26. Can we get any more? Ladies and gentlemen, we can. 27 it is. And at 69 to 54 Harvesters, Vibe is in a lot of trouble. Okay, so 22 damage per shot times 3 is going to be 66. Times 4 is going to be 80. Is that 92? Is it 3 shots or 4? I think it's 4 shots to kill a Hydralisk with Adepts, assuming upgrades are equivalent. So 4 shots is a lot. Like, it's 3 to kill a Marine. That makes Adepts have trouble with that. So 4 against a Hydralisk. This mass Hydra thing might actually work out for Vibe. We'll take a look. What is this? Is that a new Immortals? Is there a new Immortal skin I don't know about? That thing looks skinny. Hydra is walking right up to the front door of Bones. We're going to knock down your Cybernetics core. Why'd you put that at the front door, you silly? Bam. Gone. Handful of Sentries and Adepts here. I really don't know about this, man. And it is a different skin for the Immortals. Those are weird looking, man. Weird looking. Are they any different? No, they're just skinny and they look like malnourished. Malnourished Immortals. It's a weird skin. More Adepts, though, inside the main base. Still murdering things that are red and Zerg-like. Drones. There are no drones at the main base after these Zealots are through with these friends. Gone. Adepts here at the natural base as well, getting cleaned out by the Hydras. All the Hydras came home to deal with this. So that actually saved Bones. The fact that he was able to warp in some Hydras. Vibe responded with warp in some Adepts. Forcing Vibe to actually toss down a ton of static defense inside his main base. He is not a fan of this particular thing. I don't know that Immortals are what you want against mass Hydra, Bones. I don't know why you'd be getting Immortals here. Again, they look bad. I think they look bad. Extra damage versus armored, but guess what? Hydras are not armored. Hydra's trying to take down everything that comes at them, including sentries, including adepts, stalkers. They pretty much do good against everything that Bones has here. Pylon Photon Overcharge does get taken down by the Hydras. They've got +1, a +1, Assimilator down. Force Fields trying to keep the Hydras out, doing a pretty good job zoning most of them out of the range here, but Sentry's in range of getting hit, getting killed so quickly. Oh, Sentry's gone, but Adepts and Immortals, weird looking like Dolphin Immortals, pushing Vibe back. Warp Prism tries to come inside the main base. There are 4 Spine Crawlers, or 4 Spore Crawlers and 2 Spine Crawlers, and the Warp Prism says, oh, I see. Perhaps this was not a good idea. Hydras really want to know where that Warp Prism went. They're looking, they're hunting. Can't find her, though. Can't find her. I assume Warp Prisms are female, even though I think they're robots, which is pretty gender neutral. 4th base on the way for Bones up here in the top left side. Despite expanding so much early, Vibe still is just sitting on 5 bases, which is fine. I mean, at 11 minutes, 5 bases is actually really super good. 7 more Hydras on the way, getting Ground Carapace level 2, getting an Infestation Pit is Vibe at the same time, and kind of look like Duck Immortals. Don't they kind of look like ducks from this side? I don't know. 168 to 132 total supply. Vibe has a nice lead here. Guardian Shield is up. There are Archons. I like the Archon decision. Big warping of Adepts. 9 Adepts warping in. Here at the front lines from a Warp Prism, and Adepts trying to make this thing happen. Hydra is not really wanting to engage, but forced into it. The Adepts finishing the transfer. Adepts forced to deal with them now, or Hydra's forced to deal with them now, and all the Adepts die. Wow, that was really fast. Actually, +2/+2 is done for these Hydras. +1 attack done for the ground units for Bones, but that's about it. Upgrades definitely favoring Vibe at this point in time. And in full retreat now are the Duck Immortals running for their lives. Vibe chasing them down. Storm's on the way from Bones. I'm just not sure if it's going to be enough. Not entirely convinced it will be enough. Another round of Adepts here joining the Immortals, which, again, not wonderful. Zealot here at the gold base of Vibes. He currently has 5 kills. Dang, good for you, Zealot. You are a hero, Zealot, man. 4th base is complete for Bones, and workers are heading on up. Vibe says, if Hydras don't work at first, continue to make hydralisks. 14 Hydras in production right now. Is going to work on +3/+3 is the question. I believe he has an Infestation Pit. He does. He's not making a hive, though. No sign of that yet. Hydra sneaking around the sneaky top way to attack this 4th base, knocking down this debris in about 3.2 seconds. Hydra DPS is so good. They're like Marines that way. And coming into this 4th base, this is such a big Hydra army. No, look out, base going after the Nexus. And that's like Marine DPS there, you guys. Gone. Gone is the Nexus. Gone are the days of roaches. Who needs roaches when you have Hydras, man? Group of Hydras trying to bad rally, like walking right past the Immortals and the Archons. Surprisingly few of them die, though. Warp Prism still trying to find places to murder things, and this gold base is a good place to murder stuff. As it turns out, Zealots dropping, drones running for their lives. Zealots with their +2 attack now, going after this hatchery of Vibes. Might get saved by the Hydra Horde, but probably not at this point. Drones trying to... And there it is. The hatchery dies. Zealots get killed immediately, but I'm sure Bones is okay with that, all things considered. Replacement, actually more of a 6th base down here for Vibe. Again, getting attacked by Zealots. Another warping of Zealots at Vibe's 4th base. Down along this right side, it's harassment working pretty well. Out of Bones, I'm liking it a lot. He has a lot. I mean, he's killed 42 drones. 42 at this point. Dark Shrine on the way for Bones. Burrow coming in for Vibe. Perhaps some Burrow Infestor play would really assist in this situation. Hydras really want to find this Warp Prism, but the Warp Prism is doing a good job hiding in little dead airspaces. The Hydralisks cannot attack. So suddenly, I mean, Bones is looking a lot better. He's at 155 compared to 199 supply, but mass Hydra, how viable is it? Just haven't seen this. Oh, going for the Hydra drops is Vibe. This is like Marine heavy play, basically. A lot of DPS, pretty squishy, but 90 hit points is a lot of hit points, especially with the upgrades that we're seeing here. Zealots going after the 6th base and the 4th base. Oh, Adepts at the 4th base, excuse me. Vibe says, all right, you know what? We're going to end this now. We're going to drop a bunch of Hydralisks, 6 full Overlords full of Hydralisks inside your main base, and see how this works out for you. Trying to warp in some DTs to deal with this. Oh, that's actually a good idea. 2 of them get canceled, morphing one of the Overlords into an Overseer immediately. Adepts here in the 3rd base of Vibe going to town at the same time. Oh, the Burrow on the Hydras, keeping him alive until the Overseer shows up. Brilliant play out of Vibe. Gateways falling, pylons falling, main nexus falling. Is it time to go? Might be time to go. Whole army showed up, and there it is, pulling off a Terran drop, kill stuff, and run maneuver is Vibe. I know one of the options for One Trick Wednesday has been the ground is lava, right? Like, you can only shuttle your units back and forth to your opponent's bases, and everyone's like, well, only Terran can do that. No, 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 look, I think Zerg can do it too. At the very least, Zerg. I mean, Protoss, you can warp stuff in, which I think counts. It doesn't count as, it's not ferrying, but it's still not bad. Hydra's coming in here to the natural, or the third base of Bones, and again, taking out Dark Templar with their Overseer friends on overhead. These Overlords coming back into the main base while most of the army is engaged here at the front door. Storm is done for Bones, though. I'm liking that. I like that quite a bit. Hydra should really drop here. There's good tech. Templar Archives and a Twilight Council going to die. They're going to die. Hydra's using their melee attack, actually, animation against the Templar Archives. It's just a change in animation. They still do the same amount of damage. Yep, Templar Archives gone. Twilight Council, if you can get that, if you can focus that down, I think... no, he picks up and he runs as the army... some of the army shows up. Big ol' Hydra group waltzing into the third base, though. Getting stormed like crazy, but some of them are still alive with very low HP, but suddenly 194 to 113 total supply. This might be all she wrote for Bones' natural base. Falling to hydralisks. Third base falling to hydralisks. 84 supply available for Bones. 20 more hydras in production for our Zerg player. Archon, poof, exploding. Charge lot's pretty good against Zealots, or against Hydras, I would say. Also pretty good against Zealots in PvP at this point in time. Transfusing a Hydralisk. Oh, multiple Hydralisks is this Queen. Okay, I'm liking that. They have enough HP now to where it actually makes sense to transfuse them a couple times. Trying to take a fifth base is Bones. I don't know about that. Hydra is trying to get a split and a surround on these Archons. Here we go. The more Hydras coming into play. Storm's doing fairly well against the Hydras, just not as well as they used to, and that seems to be making a very, very large difference. Oh, free Templar. Nope, Storm's forcing the Hydras back instead. A drop at the fourth base of Bones. Hydra is taking down pylons. No photon overcharge for you. Army going for the third base while attacking the fourth base. It's like the Terran style of Zerg, you guys. This is nuts. This is absolutely insane. Overlords protecting the Hydras here at the third base. Hydras at the fourth base are basically left alone at this point. Did they just win that battle straight up? I think they did. Zealots took down the sixth base of Vibe, but I don't think he cares. Nidus Worm Eruption. Where is that? Nidus Worm defending, and that's it. A good game out of Bones. Bones is defeated, and Vibe is victorious. Where the heck is that Nidus Worm? I heard that eruption. Oh, okay, right here at the third base of where Bones was. Little frontal reinforcement location there. Yeah, I mean, that was basically getting full upgrades on Marines, doing drops, doing frontal attacks with greater range than Marines, right? 6 range is more than Marines have. Do they have 5? I'm having the worst brain fart right now. All right, so resources lost, pretty much telling the story. Around 33,000 lost for the Protoss player are compared to 23. Yeah, 23 for the Zerg. So considering he only made Hydras, let's see. He lost 122 Hydras, 2 Queens, 2 Hatcheries, and only 6 Creep Tumors. 62 drones, though. That's a lot of drones to lose in a game that you won. Bones ended up losing, how many are, I just want to see is Adepts. 88 Adepts, 5 Templar, lost the Oracle, lost the Void Ray, 5 Archons, 7 stupid duck-looking Immortals. I really hate that skin, can you tell? And 33 Zealots. So, I mean, Hydra pretty good. And CVP, as it turns out. I mean, Storm kind of held it off, but the macro was just so good for Vibe. He ended up getting so many bases so early that I think it just worked out in the end for him just to go for this mass Hydra play. I'm not sure how other better Protoss players would handle it, but pretty good here at the GM level, I would say. All right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.